In this video, we're going to talk about the 5 biggest deal breakers that I see during transactions of purchasing a house here in Michigan. Hello, welcome. Today, I am going to review the biggest challenges that we see during inspections. In fact, the 5 biggest deal breakers that we see during inspection periods here in Michigan. My name is Matt Talbot. I am the broker owner of Redefine Real Estate and have sold hundreds of homes throughout Southeast Michigan. And this video can be very, very impactful if you're buying a home in Michigan or for people selling a home in Michigan. Because although these are the biggest deal breakers, many of them can be avoided. So if you're a home buyer, you should want to understand what's in this video. And if you're a seller, you should probably want to understand a little bit more because you can avoid some of the biggest headaches during your real estate transaction. Like I said, I've been a real estate broker for many years. We've sold thousands of houses as a company, and I've personally sold hundreds myself through the years. We've dealt with a lot of inspection periods, a lot of pros and cons, a lot of things have happened through the years during our deals here in Michigan. So I'm speaking specifically for deals in Michigan. I work here in Southeast Michigan. Some of these will probably carry over to other states, but some of them might be a little bit more specific to Michigan because that's where I have worked, and I'm saying this video from a place of experience. So some of these are easy, they make sense, and then some of them I would say are a little bit more thought out, and like I said, can be inexpensive and avoidable for sellers. So number 1 on our list is simple. I would think if you were to guess before I said it, you'd probably come up with this on your own, but it is important to talk about, and that's of course foundational issues. We're always looking for structure integrity of the home, and not only are we looking for structure integrity of the home, but foundational issues themselves. So there's different versions of this. People look for different cracks, look for different leaks in the basement, but before I get into that, I wanted to talk about the different types of foundations that we see in Michigan. So you have 3 main types of foundations here in Michigan. There's a couple others that we can note, but the 3 main types. Number 1 is a standard basement, okay? So you have a basement, and that means that obviously it's below grade. They dug out the basement, and here in Michigan, most of them, the modern homes are poured basements, so they're poured with concrete. Some of them, the older homes, are block basements. Some of them are brick basements, and if you go back far enough, some of them are even Michigan basements, which is more of a stone basement, but that's a below grade feature, and because of that, the foundation of the house sits on that basement. So there's usually footers or some bit of support that is under or around that basement itself that the home actually sits on, and that's why we're looking for these major structural issues in these properties. If there's structural failure, obviously the home can fall over, but many times it can cause other damage as well that's not as serious as the home completely falling over, okay? It's not like the Eiffel Tower, or like, what's that? Not the Eiffel Tower, the Great Tower of Pisa? How's it go, Mikey? The Leaning Tower of Pisa? I'm so bad with that. Okay, so it's not like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I should know this, being in real estate. It's not like it's going to fall over, okay? The idea with the foundational issues, though, it can cause a lot of other issues in your home. You could have water in your basement. You could have mold in your house. The actual things can actually shift, right? And your drywall cracks, and you have paint issues. And like there can be big issues or small issues from the structural integrity of the house. So understanding that is very, very important. We're looking for dampness. We're looking for bulging of walls. That's a big one. So a lot of times people talk about vertical versus horizontal cracks, and there's some theories behind that, and sometimes that matters. But more importantly, has the wall shifted? Is there movement in the wall? Can you look down the side of the wall and see if there's movement in the wall? These are some of the items that you're looking for during the inspection of the foundation. So the number 1 thing that we see break up deals is foundation integrity. And I mentioned basements. So what are the other 2 major ways that homes are built here in Michigan? Number 2 would be slabs. So it's concrete. We call it slab on grade. They lay the slab on the ground and they built the home up. So there's no basement, there's nothing underneath it. And then number 3 on my list here is going to be your crawl foundation. So a crawl is just that. It's just big enough to crawl in. Some of them are deeper than others, but there's not a basement where you take down to the stairs, you can finish anything like that. It is a crawl space underneath the home. And a lot of times those crawl spaces should be looked at. In fact, not saying don't buy a home that's on a crawl by any means, but it's one of the biggest items that I see is when a home's on a crawl. Like I would say it's just the significance of that deal falling apart goes up really heavily when it's on a crawl. Why? Because a lot of those foundations are built a little bit different. They get damp, they get moldy, and they're not done right. There's not vapor barriers. There's a lot of structural issues at times. So really looking at that, sometimes they're completely fine. Sometimes they're finished and they're fine. You have nothing to worry about. But a lot of times the home is on the crawl. We want to give a deep inspection of that. And speaking of which, if you're a buyer and the home's homes on a crawl, many times the crawl space is tough to get access to it. So writing in your contract that you want access to the crawl space is going to be critical along the way. So you have basement foundations, you have slab foundations, and you have crawl foundations, and all three of those should be inspected. And there's items that an inspector is looking for to make sure that that home is safe and secure and you're not going to have further issues. And that's the number one way that inspections fall apart here in Michigan. Number 2 on our list can be avoided. It also can be one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive failure point of a home. And that's going to be your sewer and or septic system of a house. So again, different ways that homes are built here in Michigan. Some homes have a sewer system which goes out to the street, and the sewer takes out your sewage water and all that type of stuff and your wastewater. And then some homes are built on a septic, which is a little bit of a different system. The goal is not to deep dive there. We have other stuff on this channel, but to understand why this is such a big failure point, why so many deals fall apart, is because of this main system. So let's just take a sewer line, right? Let's just take, you have a standard main, it goes out to the sewer and it leaves your house, right? A lot of times there can be breaks or damages in that sewer line that it comes up during an inspection. And so even like investors, like very savvy, experienced investors, when they're buying a flip home, they're buying an investment home, they're still doing a camera sewer line to look at the camera and to inspect that line all the way out to the main. If the break is further out by the road, a lot of times it can be very, very expensive. The sewer line goes out and then it dives pretty deep and goes to the main sewer line of the city that you're in, right? And so when it dives deep at the road, many times if the failure point is there, it's still the owner's responsibility. Sometimes you're digging up sidewalks. A lot of times once you need to do that repair, it needs to be backfilled with gravel and rocks and have structural integrity because cars are driving over it. So that repair can be very, very expensive. As a seller, it can be avoidable. Some people proactively want to look at their sewer line or proactively get it snaked so it looks as good as possible during the inspection period and you kind of know what you're dealing with. Many people avoid this. I would say the number one reason to fire a real estate agent, if they're not recommending a sewer inspection here in Michigan or really anywhere in the country, I think that they're being shady and not asking in your best interest. So if your real estate agent is not telling you to do a sewer inspection, I would recheck your real estate agent, rethink who your real estate agent is. It's one of the biggest, most important things to look at during a home inspection, and you literally cannot see it unless you pay for that additional service. Number 3 on our list sounds scarier than it is many times, and for many sellers is probably the most avoidable item on our list. And I would say it's one of the biggest failure points of inspections of why deals fall apart. And that is mold. So mold, if you're not experienced in real estate, can sound super, super scary. There's anywhere from, hey, there's mold spores in any house and anywhere in any building that you're into. Hey, the building is completely infested with mold and there's foundation integrity and everything's falling apart. It's completely rotting, right? There's everything in between, right? So mold scares people. And as a seller, a lot of times being proactive, looking in your attic specifically, can tell you if you have mold in your house. Many times there's mold in your house you don't even know. Okay, so you go in the attic, you see signs of mold. There's professional companies that can come out and remove that mold and mediate that mold, and you can have a signed invoice and proof. You want to put it on disclosure like, hey, we had mold, it was removed, here's the invoice, and that can alleviate a lot of issues for home sellers because many buyers, they're not very educated. And a lot of times they're not very educated on the process, I should say, and many times they're not very educated on home ownership, and their agent doesn't always help them understand, the difference between types of mold and what that looks like and how often we see it and stuff like that. And so avoiding that can be very, very important for the seller. And of course, if you're buying a home, having the inspector look for that is very, very important. Now, do your research. I'm not saying all mold is not bad, but a lot of times it sounds scarier than it is. Many homes have mold in the attic, have mold in the basement, and it can be cleaned up and attended to. Even the house that I bought, there was actually mold in one of the corners. And the reason why the mold was in that corner is because when I bought the house, I realized that the sprinkler line had a break outside my backyard. And so when the sprinkler line broke, there's water sitting in that area. Once I had that fixed, that corner was no longer damp. There was no longer mold, no longer any issues. There's never any physical water in the house, but it was a little damp in that one corner, and that's because that water was sitting in the house. So I corrected one piece of pipe on the outside. It was a pretty simple repair and no issue since, and it was all cleared up. So again, I would buy a house. I literally bought a house with mold in it. So it depends on the situation, of course, but understanding what you're looking at is very, very important, and sellers should be proactive. Look at your basement, look in your attic, understand if this exists, and if so, how do we repair it? How do we take care of it? And of course, disclose it to the buyer. Number 4 on our list is electrical issues is one of the biggest reasons why we see homes fall apart during inspections. It kind of goes without saying, but we're looking for major structural and safety concerns. And obviously electrical issues can be a major safety concern for many buyers during the home purchase process. So again, sometimes a little proactive measures go a long way for sellers to avoid this. An overloaded circuit is one one major example of this. Sometimes they have multiple taps into one circuit, and that can be dangerous, or at a minimum cause items to trip in the house unexpectedly where stuff stops working. So understanding that panel itself is critical, and then different types of wiring throughout the house. For instance, there's knob and tube wiring here in Michigan. That's older wiring, has known to be a fire hazard, and can be a safety concern, and you should be paying attention to this. So look at your electrical system. If your inspector is not taking that box apart, looking at the actual circuits themselves, looking at the actual box and the junctions, what's in there, then you can have some major issues with that home. So you should be doing a deep electrical inspection along the way. Another thing to consider when you're doing an electrical inspection is how much service is to the home. For instance, you might only have 100 amp service, and you have the 100 amp service, and you want to finish the basement. Well, there might not be enough service to finish the basement, or maybe you want to add a pool, or you're building a garage, right? You want to understand how much electricity is going to that house, and can you do those additional items, or is that something you need to budget for along the way? So electrical concerns can obviously be a huge concern of homes, and that's why it's number 4 on our list of why deals fall apart here in Michigan. Number 5 on our list is on our list, but it's kind of multiple things, right? There's multiple items for number 5, and that's a major systems failure. So when you think about the house, when you think about a house, I want you to think about it as systems, right? And so one system is your HVAC system, right? Your furnace and air conditioning system. And you typically, more houses than not here in Michigan, have a furnace, which creates heat and blows forced air. And then you also have your air conditioner or compressor outside, which creates the cold air. And so the furnace blows the cold air, the AC creates the cold air, puts it inside, and the furnace blows it throughout the house. That's how the AC works. And it creates heat in the winter, and then blows the hot air throughout the house. That system itself is not just those 2 units, but there's also the venting, there's also your ducting, there's also intake of fresh air that circulates throughout the house. So understanding how those systems work is very, very important. So you have your HVAC system, you have your plumbing system, you have your electrical system, which I already talked about, and you have these different systems throughout your house that you should fully understand. So sometimes you see a major failure in a system. Like I said, one could be an HVAC system. It can be $5,000, $10,000, or even $20,000 to repair that furnace. And so understanding the major systems of your house is very, very important. And are they in working integrity? That's what an inspector is looking at. When an inspector shows up to an inspection, they're looking at the major systems of the house, and they're going to make sure that they're functionally accordingly. So I mentioned some of the other systems already in items 1, 2, 3, and 4. However, understanding the systems of your house is really, really important. That's why I wanted to talk about it as number 5. What are the systems in your home and the home that you're purchasing or selling, and how are you preparing that for sale to make sure it is safe for the next buyer? So although there's many other reasons why deals fall apart, those are the 5 biggest deal breakers that we see here in Michigan of why deals don't make it past a home inspection. Let me know in the comments. Is there something else that you've seen happen? What happened in your house? Is there anything else that we should be paying attention to that other buyers can learn from in the comments?